Well, I've been seeing the drama that has been happening, in the Senate House. Well, I didn't really want to, comment like that. I just say let me just they watch how they are doing it to see how they are doing the thing, no. But I don't think I want to come here to start telling stories of how it happened. So I will assume that everybody here knows what is happening in the Senate House or what happened. A female senator that they suspended. It's the day for sure. I think they have like up to 4 females in the Senate. Then one of them is Natasha. I know there's Senator Ireti. Don't forgetting the other one's name. Forgetting the other people's name. Wait. Have you liked this video? Don't just like, subscribe, please. Turning subscribers, thank you so much. But if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe and like this video. Thank you. 109 senators, and we have just 4 female senators. So the rest are now men. That's the remaining 105. Well, I'll just give my own thoughts. I will not go deep into the story. I think, as it was alleged, though, I think it's possible for someone to look. Let me leave it. Let me not address it to the Senate. Gong. Let me just speak in general. Like maybe let me refer to myself. I think it's possible for me to be diligent doing something and diligent maybe doing my work or doing something or maybe obeying to a certain rules of it. Maybe I'm in school or maybe I'm at work and I'm obeying to the directives, and a particular person is constantly trying to frustrate me. It's going to get to a point whereby I'll have to open up and speak out. You understand? There's a way someone will frustrate you, and you always know that the person is poking you. You understand? That you don't know when you just have the very large outburst. So it's possible. It's very, 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 very possible. So that one is outside. So I will use my own experience to tell you. There was a time I was in the choir. I had an issue with the way they were doing things there, and I won't go into details. But in the church, I was in the church, but I had to vent my anger. So even when after they did what they did, like half of the people that did not come for choir rehearsal, they came and they sang on stage, and I was the assistant music director and I was in charge of that rehearsal of that day. So seeing that pastor allowed them to minister, there's no way it is done whereby people that didn't come for rehearsals will climb stage to sing, even sing the song that I taught in the choir rehearsal and solo itself. Me that now taught it, I was just looking at them. So that's what they did. So they said after the whole thing, they would do a meeting to address why people did not come for the rehearsal and why it was just only 7 people that came. And funny enough, the 7 people that came could handle that song well, but they just wanted to do that their politics or whatever. So I felt offended because me, I was coming from a far place, and most of the people, they all stayed closer to church, but they did not come. Some that came, in fact, the one that even led the song, he doesn't come. We saw him outside when the rehearsal has finished. We saw him on the road, and it was still the person that soloed song. Saw him on the road outside, said he went to barb his hair, whatever. So in the meeting, so after the Sunday service, all of them sang. I was leaving. I was just angry. So they now called up the meeting after the service, and they were now. The pastor was there. He was not asking each member, okay, what do you think happened wrong, or was giving people opportunity to speak, to air their mind. So this one will stand up, person will air their mind, this one will stand up, person will air their mind. Because me, I was already leaving. I wanted to express because I was the assistant music director. I wanted to express myself. So, but giving, if you raise your hand, you say, talk. What do you think we can do to improve? What do you think went wrong? You understand? So when I raised up my hand, because I was already, I won't say I was angry, but I wanted to vent my frustration on what these people are doing is frustrating. They will not come for rehearsal, but they want to sing. So why it's frustrating and why how it's not even done anywhere? It's even against the rules of the choir. So that was how I raised up my hand to talk to because everyone was allowed. And our pastor said no, that I will not talk. I won't say anything. Later I raised it, he just shunned me. Because I was already mad at him and at the choir mistress and them, I just stood up from that seat. Since you will not allow me to talk or express myself, I stood up and I walked out. It was because our pastor had a lot of maturity. As a leader, you have to have this sense of maturity. Being a leader doesn't mean you should like reinforce your power, or it's not a power group. It's not a place to show, okay, I'm a leader, I'm powerful. You understand? Leadership comes with a certain set of maturity because you know there are some people you really need, and there are some people that are the engines of your leadership. So you have to be apply wisdom as a leader. I'm trying to relate this thing with what happened in the Senate House. So the pastor now told someone to call me back, so I will air my view. He saw that what he did was wrong because he allowed others air their view. When I wanted to air my view, he just shot me down because he knew I'm going to tell him the truth. So when he came, when they called me back, he now said I should speak. That's why I was now able to express myself and express my disappointment on how most of them don't come for rehearsals, but they still expect to sing, which is still against their so-called rules. So that is by the way. So I felt the Senate president should have handled this matter with the utmost sense of maturity because of his age. Because he should have known that this Senator Natasha is not like an easy bone to crack. So he should have handled it. He should have stepped aside for this matter to be addressed properly. Not him being the judge of his own case. Like he's the one being petitioned. Yes, he's the one being petitioned. You understand? He's the in quote is the offender here. So he's not supposed to be allegedly, yeah. He's the offender here. So he's not supposed to be the judge of his own petition. So
Distinguished colleagues, this petition is hereby referred to the Committee on Code of Conduct, Ethics and Public Petitions to revert to the Senate as soon as practicable.
Petition.
Any other petition? Yes.
so it's awkward to be the accused and you are still a judge of what they are accusing you of. And he never been from the things from the way this thing went, it just makes us want to believe Senator Natasha because we could constantly see him shut her down. And also, even that time he made remarks of nightclub. The way he addressed her that time, was that last year? Yes. The way he addressed her, people frowned at it. Why would you? Let's assume it was Tinubu's wife that was still a senator by then. Would you refer to her as with the word nightclub? So you're the one being petitioned, and you are still the judge over your case. It doesn't make sense. So he should have just stepped aside, and maybe the deputy might have come in, or they would, bring in a certain independent, unbiased investigation team, you understand, that would investigate this lady's claim, because this lady is claiming sexual harassment. And according to her, she's according to what she said, she's alleging that right from when her and her husband visited the senator's house and the Senate president's house, as the Senate president held her hands and said, okay, I let them that do you like my house? Maybe we can spend quality time, stuff like that. And she claimed her husband might have heard what they said, but her husband later asked her, "What did the Senate president tell you?" Which she kind of told a lie, just because her birthday was the next day, so she doesn't want any drama. I think she later told her husband. So she was passing certain bills that the Senate president kept on turning around, and she now went to the Senate president and told the Senate president, okay, this as she was alleging. She now went to the Senate president and told the Senate president, sir, you know how important this is to me. Please, why aren't you listening to me and paying attention to the bills I'm trying to pass or whatever? The Senate president told her, you have to make me feel good before that you enjoy a lot of privileges if you understand. Yeah, you understand. She's alleging that maybe that is the reason why the man is poking her, you know, trying to frustrate her or to do one or two things. So I can get it. According to her, she came to the Senate and someone just said, "Hey, it's a trap." Or they changed your seats. That is a trap. Or she was like, today we must fight this thing. That she's already tired of the harassment. She's already frustrated. You understand? So if that is how it actually happened, then I think I can understand her. So saying because of technicalities, they cannot do a proper investigation, it doesn't make sense. So now they now hurriedly did what? Suspended her. They suspended her for 6 months, withheld her salary, her security. They even wanted to also withhold the salary of her staffs, which doesn't, to me, doesn't make sense. Which at least also there was a senator that came and he did, okay, let them not, at least let the staffs keep on with getting their money, their normal salary. Let us not punish the staff because of her. So saying rules, there are some rules that it doesn't make sense like that. There are some rules that needs to be attended to. It's not this is rule. Okay, because of seats. Okay, there was a time the Senate president also had an issue with seating arrangement or whatever. I don't think he was giving this current Senate president, and when he was just a senator, he had the same issues when he had these seat issues during his time when he was a senator. The Senate president, as of then, I did not suspend, and in fact, his own was even way more dramatic. So now giving her suspension for 6 good months, someone you did not elect, someone that just people that elected her, that put her in that position, someone that was democratically put there, and you feel you have the right to deprive her of her salaries, to deprive her of representing the Kogi Central for 6 months. Come on, doesn't make sense. So all I saw there was like a cartel of certain people that just came together and said, we must punish this lady today. That's what it looked like. But I'm not saying what Natasha is alleging is true, the sexual harassment. What I'm saying is you cannot just suspend her like that 6 months and sweep the allegations under the carpet. And a lot of senators were coming out to defend the president. Like, I get it, but were you there when it happened? Assuming it happened, were you there? So I just felt everyone should have been neutral. Even if you are sweeping it over the carpet, you just, it's not important. Okay, the people that even, it's better. I prefer the people that just say it's not sexual harassment, it's not something you should be announcing, it's not that important. It's better you will say it's not important than defending what you are not present, than defending what you are not present when it happened. You cannot just go. That's why I kind of have a little issue with the wife, with his wife, Senate President's wife. Because the way she just jumped out, my husband cannot do it. What if he did it? What if, allegedly, what if he did it as alleged? You don't know. So in this case, you have to be. I now went to go and sue Natasha. You are not the person Natasha is alleging now. She didn't call your name. It's your husband. So what are you going to sue again for? So to me, all I'm saying is that number one, there was even a court order for the Senate to hold on, and the Senate also flaunted the court order, and now they suspended the Natasha. So this it now looks like you're suspending Senator Natasha because you want to cover up something so that she won't for that. I don't know. It looked somehow, and even as they were reading the suspension, doing all those things, ethic, nkewa, 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 it was looking like. In fact, what I noticed that day that Natasha had a confrontation with the Senate president, and she was trying to say order 10. The Senate president was like, you're not permitted to speak. And she was still talking, say suspension. So that suspension was already concluded on the day of the altercation. The Senate president already say suspension. So those things they now did, still suspending her late. It doesn't make sense. So it just looked like something that was already planned. You get. So I still feel it should be investigated, and I still think it is wrong for the Senate to flaunt the court orders by proceeding in this punishment they gave, also called punishment they gave Natasha, which I think is extreme. Even removing her security from her. So if you remove her security from her, something happens to her. You just know people will now say, okay, you do that. Come on. The suspension alone to me, it no work. The thing that I feel is that, and another thing is, okay, the suspension to me no work. The fact that the Senate president was still a judge in his own court, it doesn't it doesn't go down well. It doesn't make sense. And also the fact that they are not they are not giving a room for fair hearing, it doesn't make sense. And the fact that there's no certain independent investigating team that will just come and investigate this issue and matter and go in, look for the evidence, hear this side, hear that side, do something that is transparent. The fact that everybody just wants to sweep this thing under carpet. The fact that there are fellow women in the Senate that couldn't even stand up for this lady is just appalling. So it's quite unfortunate, but that is it. I feel this matter should be investigated, because if you just sideline this lady like this, you are sidelining the common girl, the voice of a common girl that's not even a senator. If you are sweeping a senator's case under the carpet, then what about an ordinary girl that will be sexually harassed? You understand? How will people, if she opens her mouth to talk, they say, close your mouth. If they could do this thing to a senator, who are you? So it doesn't make sense. I think it should be investigated, and that's just it.